crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. Beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I done grabbed a few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze. Freeze. Stop you in your tracks. There's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as
Coach, the tundra may not quite be frozen, but it's getting there as we work our way through December. The radar today, however, is clear at Lambeau Field in Green Bay. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Now Moon. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On first down, they go right back to Hunt. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Moon. Going for the deep ball. This is caught inside the 15. It's a big play that time for the Packers. 52 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use momentum.
And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Dante Pettis, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Packers take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. The extra point up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready. Topper. Let's go.
On first down, Lacey. Flush to his right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On the catch, it's Duke Johnson. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up fourth down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
A terrific return, 30 yards all in all. And it'll be Packer football here, first down and 10.
At their own 41-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Now, they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. It means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up first and 10, down at the 33. Moon. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
He's going to look, and this is caught. Touchdown, Packers. Andy Isabella with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 2nd and 4. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Throwing on 3rd and long. Lacey. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
And getting our first update now from Nashville. And it's the Titans who are off to the early lead in that ball game. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. If you start assessing what went wrong last Last week, Charles, and their loss had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. It's a gain of 34. How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has zero answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football until they...
Touchdown, Packers! Andy Isabella with his 13th touchdown of the year and second of the game. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
On the ready.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Matchbox lights.
Off the play fake. Lacy. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
A pass down the middle is fought for and hauled in. 30 yards there, and of course the first down as well.
You had to figure they'd take a shot downfield on 3rd and long, so the old cliche came into mind right away for me. Who wants it more? You always hear about receivers, you hear about their hands, their moves, their speed. How about the positioning and the desire to go get that one out of the air?
A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down.
Hey, high 7. Let's go.
Operating from the gun, Lacy. And that will be incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Here we go, D.
To throw on 2nd down, Moon. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first quarter. 21-0 our score after one.
Watch the run. They're running it.
On third down, Moon. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end.
Play action. It's Moon. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
He's going to float this one deep right side. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 57 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner.
And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Austin Hooper with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Extra point splits the uprights, and the rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself.
And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out, and the Packers pick it up. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
1st and 10 at the 12-yard line.
They'll run. This is Hunt. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 8-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Watch left, watch left, watch left. He's tight right there, he's tight right there. 4 down, 4 down.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Dante Pettis with his second touchdown here in this first half as his guys continue to pour it on. Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Let's go, baby.
Take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
A first down run, not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Lacey always looking for a touchdown deep for Woods. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Robert Woods, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Buddy up. 52. Mike 52. Guys, it's game situation. Let's go.
A play fake. Now Moon. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down.
Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it.
No. Check that. We got Mike 52 right here. Mike 52. You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me.
Out of the gun, it's Moon. Dancing to his left. This one caught by Isabella. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
At their own 11-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. 2nd and 14. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. On the NFL scoreboard, second quarter in Nashville. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. To throw, Moon. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The throw down the field, caught by his running back. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Sponge. No. Check safety.
Now a first down throw. Moon trying to lay one up deep. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they're going to measure revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Moon to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to let it go deep, and that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently, so that's just going to be an incompletion. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
I got you.
From the gun, here's Moon. It's complete to Grant. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. Touchdown, Packers! Kareem Hunt with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point up and through, and the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. The first half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
He don't want it. Watch the ship.
On 1st and 10, Lacey. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. And into the red zone now, and Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points, so you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes, make sure they put points on the board and come out of it with that.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Robert Woods, as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings are able to at least knock this deficit down a bit. Extra point right down the middle. And they get a bit of a respite here from what's been an otherwise dreadful first half of football. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. To throw on second down, Lacey. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10. And I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now, the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Kenny Clark in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this punt sails over the sideline, and the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. The defense shut him down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 22 yards there, a first down. They'll run on first down. It's Hunt, and they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation they were not really focused on it.
Looking to throw on second down. Moon. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with him.
Now it's Hunt. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. Off play action. Moon. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. This is Hunt. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown,
you want two.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
SOS, SOS, SOS. SOS, SOS, SOS.
Now Moon. Toward the pylon, caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. They've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal? Here's Moon. That ball complete to Isabella. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. And he pulled it. Oh, my goodness. It's no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. So we would have figured that one to be 3 points in the bank, but this game, you know, can be unpredictable at times.
Yeah, he knew he needed to pull it ever so slightly to get it going in the right direction, but he seemed to put a little too much on it, and from short range, that is a bad miss for an NFL kicker.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times, the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Defense, keep it up, guys.
To throw again. Lacey. That's caught. It's Malone. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Johnson, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Ready, ready. 30 base. Shift, shift. Check, check. Fresno, Fresno, Fresno.
To throw on second down. Lacey, screenplay, Johnson. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit.
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down.
Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball.
Back to throw. Lacey, he's going to wind up and air it out. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
2nd and 9 now. And he's going to keep it. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. Now the try here for the extra point. Now that shaves a bit off the lead. It's now a 23-point game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
They'll run again with Love on 1st down. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer 1st down. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
2nd and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
Go.
Now Moon. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up a screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly, and you definitely don't want to throw it too late And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Moon. And it's complete. Hooper. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Austin Hooper. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. They had the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
Come on, man. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A good pickup there, 21 yards.
First down, Vikings.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Lacey. He's going to air it out deep for Woods. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kenny Clark in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22 and a half set in 2001. Off the play fake, Lacey. And that is incomplete. Another incomplete pass there. What do you take from this game offensively?
Well, you know it's tough to really analyze for them because it is a team game, right? And let's be honest, though. The defense did them no favors in this one at all. Offense actually moved the ball. So, bottom line, film session, defense is going to be a real tough one for them. Offense, they'll get a little bit of praise.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
The end result was brute force on brute force, but think about everything that's going on if you're playing defensive tackle. You're dealing with at least one blocker across from you, trying to deal with him, shed him, and maybe even a second one before you have to try and make the tackle on the big guy.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Love, and he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Packer first down.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On the carry, it's Love. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 40, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
Throwing on first down, Lacey. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense, but they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
Newton on the keeper. It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 41-yard line.
Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee.
It's a loss of a yard. Bringing up 3rd.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And they will take a knee here.
Newton on the keeper. A loss of a yard. It's 4th down. Today's final score.
But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Packers, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they hit the 10-win mark now at 10-5. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, it's another loss as they now fall to 4-11. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
From Prada, rolling up. I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I I don't got fears or problems. Only got real what's round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we pack up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Dying from laughter. When they come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today and they my last one.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no